Honor has just unveiled its new Magic 7 series. Remember that Honor is the brand that was destined to receive all of Huawei's heritage. But for some reason, it has failed to reach the same level that Huawei had previously reached. Maybe because some people think it is still from Huawei and think it has the same drawbacks as Huawei, but in reality we are talking about a brand that has Google services globally, like all other manufacturers that are not Huawei. So, let me tell you all the specifications of this device that has just been presented in China, although its global launch will surely be several months later. In the Pro model, we will find this design with 4 curvatures in the glass that most Chinese manufacturers are implementing, with a size of 6.8 inches on the screen, while the base model has 6.78 inches with a more traditional design. In both cases, we find LTPO technology so that it can vary from 1 to 120 Hz. In fact, in every way, it is a similar display to the last generation, which was already very good. We've reached a point where the displays, I think, don't have much more to evolve because, for example, their peak brightness is 5000 nits, so that's very high when you're watching HDR content. Also, it comes with different mechanisms to protect your eyesight, as we had seen previously. Honor has also recently introduced artificial intelligence functions to take care of the eyesight, simulating some other effects to avoid eye strain. Both models come with the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, which is very good news because there will be no difference in power between the base model and the Pro model. In addition, Honor claims that they have worked on a cooling system and an optimization of the operating system to achieve even higher performance. According to Honor figures, they were able to have heavy games like Genshin Impact at a temperature below 44.8 degrees Celsius, which honestly does not seem to me a great wonder, but it is honest work. Regarding the cameras, in both cases we will see a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera with f-aperture 2.2 and autofocus to support macro photography at a distance of 2.5 centimeters. In the main camera, we will find a small difference, but they are very similar. They both use the same OmniVision 9000 sensor, which is a fairly large sensor with a size of 1/1.3 inches. It is a very high quality sensor, although it is not from Sony. Personally, I would have liked to see a Sony sensor more, but we'll take it. Where we will find a difference will be in the aperture of the cameras, as the Pro model features variable aperture from f1.4 to f2.0. While the base model stays at f1.9, so it won't be as bright, but the main difference will be in the telephoto camera, as the base model incorporates 50 megapixels with approximately 3x optical zoom and f2.4 aperture. However, the Pro model incorporates a Samsung ISOCELL HP3 sensor, a sensor specialized in everything to do with zoom, so it will be very interesting to see what results this camera is able to give us. It's a 200 megapixel sensor with a size of 1/1.4 inches, which is also big enough, especially considering that it's for the zoom camera. Let's just say that other manufacturers use this sensor in the main camera, although in this case it also has 3x optical zoom and an f-aperture 2.6. The configuration sounds interesting. We will have to put it to the test to see what it is capable of, because last generation personally I was a bit disappointed in the long-range zoom. Interestingly, this device will not have the ability to record video in 8K, but the maximum resolution will be 4K at 60 frames per second, just like the front camera, which will have the ability to record in 4K at 60 frames per second. For the front camera, in both cases we will find 50 megapixels, but the Pro model also has a 3D depth sensor, specifically time of flight, to be able to detect even the face in an advanced way and have this additional security mechanism to the fingerprint reader. In the battery, we will also find differences, and it is curious that, in this case, Honor has not decided to incorporate a battery of more than 6000 mAh because it had been evolving in a good way, but it seems that now it has reached a point a little more comfortable where it decided not to reach its limits. So the base model has a capacity of 5650 mAh, while the Pro model reaches 5850 mAh, in both cases supporting 100-watt cable charging and 80-watt wireless charging. Both models have IP level 68 and also IP69 resistance against water. I've already told you, but I'll say it again. IP69 means it can withstand high-pressure hot water jets. In China, they will also offer satellite connectivity, although this feature will likely be lost globally. Both models have withstood a 10-drop test by SGS Switzerland, ensuring that it has a good level of durability. The base model is 7.95 millimeters thick and weighs 199 grams, while the Pro model goes up to 8.8 millimeters thick, weighing 223 grams. They will be available in a tremendous variety of colors and finishes, although we will have to wait to see which versions will arrive globally. I remind you that these devices have been presented in China, so the simplest configuration of the base model has an announced price for that region of 4,499 yuan. That's roughly $630, but remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. On the other hand, the simplest configuration of the Pro model has an advertised price for China of 5,699 yuan. This is more or less $799, more or less to get an idea of the prices that we could and would like to have, but that's not really going to be the case globally. You know, globally they're going to be much higher. Let me know what you think of these devices. They are probably going to be introduced later globally. It is also likely that only the Pro model will come to various regions and the standard model will stay in selected countries.